commission, quite frankly, is your checkoff dollars. So that's research, education, promotion. The one thing you cannot do with checkoff dollars is lobby and policy. So we never mix those two. The association is your lobby policy side. And so that's the big difference between the commission and the association is what their roles are and how they get their funds. One of the biggest things behind the scenes that people may not know about is how much effort and time and, quite frankly, funds go into the research part of what the commission is in charge of. We work very closely with the Center for Sorghum Improvement, CSIP. We've recently secured funding for what we call CSIP 2.0. That was a brainchild of many people in leadership far before I came on, and we're able to pick that flag up and carry it along. Sarah Sexton Bowser heads that up for us, but basically kind of picture that as an hourglass of where all the research funnels through that. And so we're able to make sure that we're not duplicating research, we're not doing something that's already been done. We're also making sure that we're doing things that are beneficial to the industry itself. And so that was something that was really eye-opening for me when I got to see the inner workings of how that all worked.
We know that to align research to outcomes that are use-inspired or real-world inspired, we need to first and foremost understand those that manage the crop, those that farm the crop, those that sell the crop. What are they experiencing? What are their needs? How do we go about solving this? And it's that collective group of farmer leaders sitting around the table, spending time reading through proposals, answering tough questions that really gives life and breath to the type of research that we can do. It inspires researchers, but it also brings discipline and accountability, which is critically important when you make investments in farmer-facing, farmer-interested research to have their voice at the center of the table.
For some of the producers out there that don't know what CSIP is or aren't familiar with some of their work, one of the projects that I've been intimately involved with over the last couple of years is the Sorghum Connections project. And that gets a little bit more on the educational side of things and combines that with some of the research that CSIP's doing. They've funded some projects where K-State researchers are out across the state. One of our farm is one of the locations for the research. And so with the plots that they're growing across the state in different regions, it really does give producers an idea of what's happening right in their backyard. So I like the fact that even within Kansas, the environment is varied enough that what we grow in Scott City or in Dighton is going to be vastly different than what's grown in Manhattan. So having CSIP realize that and put their dollars into a project that focuses on the different regions and different areas, so we get a little bit better results and a little bit better feedback from what's actually going to happen in our fields. So Sorghum Connections is something that I believe in, that not only the research being local, but then we have field days that farmers can come out and actually see what their dollars have funded through the commission and through the checkoff to produce fruits for their farm and see some of the new technology that hopefully will be coming down the pipe to help their bottom line.
One of the things that's really important to me is the accountability with the commission funds. These funds are collected on behalf of the sorghum industry, and we're charged with how we administer those funds. And one thing that I like to look at myself personally is each dollar we spend going to bring back at least 10x dollars to the sorghum growers? That's a win. Many times we're 50 times that, but I want to be at least 10x return to the sorghum growers. That's what I feel like is being a good steward of the funds and working to further the industry.
In my mind, the Sorghum Commission has a couple distinct roles that'll help producers. I think market development is very important, and then research for new technologies is also very important. So anything that the Commission can do to help open new doors and find new avenues, whether it's domestic or overseas, market development is definitely one that's forefront to a lot of producers out here to get that price up.
Kansas Sorghum and the United Sorghum Checkoff and just Team Sorghum in general has been working with the U.S. Grains and Bioproducts Council to navigate all these export challenges and to work to overcome any issues that might be coming up. We have export sorghum that goes on in Houston, and then off of that, we do a lot of trade team visits. There's going to be Texas Panhandle, there's going to be several across the state of Kansas. We have one at our place here that we're hosting that we're really looking forward to.
The checkoff has invested quite a few dollars in genetics, and one of those is our food sector of it. And those grains have improved substantially over the years due to our checkoff funding. We are then in return able to pay our producers a premium due to the fact that our milling characteristics are better.
Very recently, we have had a quick and sudden growth and development of the dairy sector over the semi-arid plains, an area where we have sorghum production well established. This is a new and emerging market, so we're going to want to know how we manage our water with this, what genetics work, maybe we can enhance the genetics we have. And so with that, how do we take this new industry and really facilitate and foster it forward?
Any farmer that sits on the commission boards or association boards really do understand how valuable and small our dollars are. We value our dollar, we try to stretch it as far as we can.
We have to be thrifty, we have to be efficient, and how efficient and thrifty it was when I got involved was very impressive.
We box above our weight class. When you work with sorghum, you start to understand these fundamentals of what sorghum's working against, right? Those headwinds, but also what we can do if we're clever and designing strategies of how we leverage the crop, how we understand the inherent strengths of the crop, and how we make sure that sorghum isn't forgotten.
I believe that as farmers in Western Kansas or in the state of Kansas in general, we need to shoulder part of the load to make something happen for our industry. I like to be able to make things happen and like to talk to people that can affect things that will actually impact our daily lives.
There were many people that came before me that donated their time and energy and talents to getting us to where we are today. And I think we owe it to them and to the generations that come behind us to help make sure that we foster that and keep that moving forward.